hypnotized. She's pretty, look into her eyes. They tell 1,000 stories of the past. Some of the memories you wish you didn't have. She's brave like her mind. She's a woman, feminine.
Hi everybody. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope everybody is having a blessed day. Have you ever felt exhausted? Not because life is hard, but because you are trying to be someone you are not anymore. Maybe you're still responsible one, the strong one, the nice one, the overachiever, the fixer. But something inside you feels off, like you have outgrown a vision of yourself and you are suffocating trying to maintain it. Today we are talking about the psychological costs of holding on to identity that no longer fits you, and why letting go can feel terrifying but necessary. What is identity really? Psychologically speaking, identity is the story we tell ourselves about who we are. According to Erik Erikson, identity isn't fixed, it evolves through stages of life. But somewhere along the way, many of us freeze. We lock into roles: the achiever, the caretaker, the rebel, the victim, the good child, the independent one who doesn't need anyone. At first, these identities protect us. They help us survive. They help us belong. But survival identities are not always growth identities. And once kept you safe, can eventually keep you stuck. The hidden psychological cost holding on to outdated identity doesn't just feel uncomfortable. It creates real psychological strain, chronic anxiety. When who you are becoming crashes with who you think you are supposed to be, your nervous system feels it. That tension, that's cognitive dissonance. That term was coined by Leon Festinger and described the mental stress we feel when our beliefs and behaviors don't align. If you still see yourself as the strong one, but you are deeply tired, you won't ask for help, and that internal conflict creates anxiety. Burnout. If your identity is built around achievement or self-sacrifice, rest feels like failure. You don't stop because stopping threatens who you think you are. And over time, you're burned out trying to protect an image of yourself that no longer reflects you. Resentment. When you keep playing a role you have outgrown, resentment builds toward others and toward yourself. You might think, why does everyone expect this from me? Why am I always the one who has to hold it together? But often the expectation persists because you have trained people to expect that vision of you, and changing it feels like betrayal. Loss of authenticity. Psychologist Carl Roger believed psychologist distress happens when there's a gap between the real self and the idea self. The bigger the gap, the more disconnected you feel. You start performing instead of living, smiling instead of being, and slowly you lose touch with who you actually are. Why do you think it's so hard to let go? If it feels so painful, why don't we just change? Because identity isn't just personal, it's relational. People know you as this vision. And when you change, relationships shift, dynamics change. Some people get uncomfortable. You might lose approval, you might lose belonging, you might even lose certain relationships entirely. And our brains are wired to fear social rejection. Letting go of an identity can feel like social death, even if it's psychological rebirth. Signs you have outgrown an identity. Here are some subtle signs. You feel exhausted by things that used to energize you. You fantasize about disappearing or starting over. Compliments about who you are feel strange or heavy. You feel envy toward people who live more freely. You secretly wish you could disappoint people without guilt. That's not selfishness. That's evolution knocking. Outgrowing yourself involves grief. You grieve the old vision of you, the approval you received, the certainty you had, the identity that once kept you safe. Psychologist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross taught us that grief isn't just about death, it's about transition. And identity shift are a form of loss. You are shedding a skin, and even when it's necessary, it still hurts. What happened when you don't let go? If you refuse to evolve, one of the three things usually happens. You become increasingly anxious and irritable. You numb yourself to cope. Or your life forces change through crisis, sometimes burnout, sometimes a breakdown, sometimes a relationship ending. Growth that we resist often shows up as disruption. This is how to begin to let go. Letting go doesn't mean becoming someone new overnight. It means experimenting. Start small. Say no once. Admit you're tired. Ask for help. Try something that doesn't match your old identity. If you have always been the strong one, try being honest about weakness. If you have always been responsible one, allow yourself play time. If you have always been the nice one, try setting a boundary. You don't destroy identity, you update it. There's a vision of you that got you this far. Respect them. They protected you. They help you survive. But survival is not the same as alignment. And sometimes growth means thanking who you were and allowing yourself to become someone else. Not because you failed at being them, but because you have outgrown the cage. If this resonated with you, comment, what identity am I ready to release? And if you're in the middle of becoming, I see you. And remember, is uncomfortable, is lonely, is brave, and is all worth it. I hope this helps you, and I love you all. Goodbye.